the power of why. How can we use that power? Well, in today's episode, I will share with you exactly how I use it regarding my second deepest why. More about that right after the intro. Welcome to the Day One Journey, episode 132. Cha-ching. Yes! Well, the power of why and how we can use it in our own lives. How can we use that leverage? Remember, this is still the self-discipline series, and the power of why is the third level. Yes, and today I will share with you exactly how I use that leverage on myself regarding my second deepest why, the one that I shared with you last episode. My second deepest why, as I shared with you, is setting an example, and mostly for my children that I hope watching this episode as well. Children, I hope you're watching this. And by the way, if you don't know me, my children, as for this year, 2018, weren't born yet. But that doesn't stop me from talking to them. Yes, I talk to them right now, and not only that, I use the idea of them as a leverage on me to push myself to execute as the power of why. You see, not only do I think about them watching this episode, I also put them, yes, and this is the tool, I also put them, imagine them here, yeah, on my shoulder. Yes, I'm serious with you, and that's the tool. You might think about it as being a little bit childish, or maybe a little bit childlike. Maybe this is just for children, but this is the power of imagination. Think about it, imagine, or just look around all the things that you can see around you, wherever you are, in the bus station, at home, on the street. Most of the things that we see were once in someone else's imagination. Yes, first you create the things in your imagination, and this is just an example, a simple example of the power of our imagination. Now think about your children, or think about the small people in your life that look up to you. Now, imagine yourself doing something, not for the best of your ability, but then your children or the people that look up to you enter the room. It can be your little brother, it can be also your students. They come and they see you. Does that affect how you do what you do? Because you know someone is watching. Well, that's the leverage. So you can use the power of your imagination and put these people on your shoulder. Yes, put these people on your shoulder. This is exactly what I do, and I do it with my children. Yes, they are there. Yes, they are there watching whatever I do. Sometimes I also give them the power. Yes, sometimes I also give them the power to see what I think about. Yes, for example, when I practice my meditation, and the practice is pretty challenging for me, I try to put all the other thoughts outside my head and focus on my breath. So they see my thoughts, they see if I think about other things. So I put that aside as well, and it helps me to set an example. It helps me to push through, to be the best version of myself and set the best example I can for them. So this is the tool that I use with my own specific deep why of setting an example. You might relate for that reason, but you might yet have your own reasons, but you can still use the power of your imagination. Well, I just remind you before we wrap this episode up, I just remind you this is the third level, but the first level of self-discipline was being able to make a decision and make the decision to go after what you want the most instead of what you may want to do right now. The second level was commitment, being committed, being consistent with that specific decision. And the third level, the thing that we were speaking and are speaking in this episode, is the power of why. Understanding, knowing, and reminding ourselves why we do what we do. So I shared with you last episode, I'm doing what I'm doing to set an example, mostly for my children. And how can I use that power specifically? I put them on my shoulder. Yes, I imagine them watching every step I'm doing. So that pushes me to be the best version I can be for myself. And you can use that as well. Well, we're a little bit out of time. So back to you. I have an interesting sound for you for the day. It's similar to the tip. It's similar to the tool. You can imagine your children on your shoulder as well, doing whatever you're doing. Try it. Give it a try. It is so powerful, the power of your imagination. But if you don't relate too much for that reason, remember, these are your reasons. These are your why, the power of your why. It's not about my why. It is about your why, your motivations, your motives. So if you want to use that tool with a different perspective, this might sound for you for the day. You can imagine whoever you want on your shoulder watching. It can be your children, it can be your students, it can be someone that looks up to you, that will push you to set an example for them. But it can also be someone that you admire, someone that you look up to. It can be your parents, it can be even a celebrity, someone that you admire, that you appreciate their opinion. You can put them on your shoulder. Make them watch what you do. Show them what you do. Yeah, you can even show off a little bit for them, or just demonstrate how things should be done. Yes, it is still the same power of your imagination. You can put your favorite idol here on your shoulder and they will be watching you, maybe even whispering some tips in your ear. Well, do this today, and of course, have an amazing, yes, also children, have an amazing day, amazing day one. You too, of course, you too have an amazing day one. See you tomorrow then.